last ice age on the Earth. Rising temperatures had melted glaciers and raised sea levels. The land masses started shrinking. The western coast of India also similarly was engulfed by the rising sea. On this coast was the city of Dwarka, Lord Sri Krishna's Karmabhumi. On this coast was a 2500-year-old massive temple at Dwarka. Lord Sri Krishna used to live here, and even today lakhs of devotees visit this place to visit this holy land and pay their homage. With the belief that after Krishna left his mortal body, the city of Dwarka was swallowed by the ocean, devotees travel up to 10 kilometers by boat into the ocean to offer flowers. However, our modern day minds make us skeptical about this belief. Did the city of Dwarka really exist? But then India is a country where the boundaries between faith, beliefs and science are blurred. In this case also, faiths and beliefs of the devotees was backed by science. While demolishing a modern-day building in the alleged location of the ancient Dwarka temple, archaeologist Professor Rao found the remains of an ancient temple. He found various old vessels and other ruins. Professor Rao's curiosity grew. He began excavating in the believed location of Bet Dwarka, about 30 kilometers from the site in the middle of the ocean. He found some ancient artifacts, bangles, and conch shells. Bet Dwarka was surrounded by a wall made of huge stones. This fortification wall was also found submerged in the ocean. These findings backed what was written in the Puranas, and further archaeological studies began a kilometer from the coast at the bottom of the ocean. About 120 feet below the sea level, amidst the underwater vegetation, divers found submerged construction. Divers found stone arches amongst this construction, carved stone pillars, huge bells from the temple, and also copper and brass vessels and other earthenware. Lord Sri Krishna's massive golden city described in the Puranas was finally discovered by the archaeologists. Carbon dating performed on some woodwork found there determined that it was from around 7500 BC. Some of the vessels found had inscriptions in the same script as those found at Mohenjo-daro. Coins made from conch were given as form of identifications. Similar coins have been found in Bahrain. Shipwrecks like those found here have also been found in Cyprus and Syria. Dwarka used to be a major port in its heydays, and the merchants travelled far and wide. The archaeological studies here prove that Lord Sri Krishna, who told us about the way of life through the Bhagavad Gita, was also a great administrator and focused on development. He enabled his subjects to trade with the outside world and made his city of Dwarka very prosperous. These archaeological studies prove that Krishna was not just a legend from our ancient texts, but also existed here, and the Mahabharata was a real incident that occurred in India about 8 to 9,000 years ago. The other superhero in the Puranas was Lord Sri Ram. Ravan had kidnapped Sita. Apprehensive about her safety, Ram set out to attack Lanka to get her back and reach the southern tip of India. However, the vast ocean lay before him. A worried Sri Ram was pondering on how to cross this mighty ocean when to his rescue came Vishwakarma's son Nal. He had the knowledge and expertise to build a bridge across the ocean. Hanuman's army of monkeys was ready for the labor. Devoted to Sri Ram, they quickly stacked up rocks and built the Ram Setu and entered Lanka. This is an episode from the Ramayana. The numerous devotees of Lord Sri Ram believe this incident to be true. This devotion and belief has also been seconded by science. Between the Pamban island in Tamil Nadu and the Mannar island of Sri Lanka lies a 50-kilometer stretch of raised land submerged in the ocean. The water in this area is very shallow, being only 3 to 30 feet. Pictures taken by NASA's satellites show it to be a single stretch of road. The research into this got a lot more encouragement from this fact. Records from a temple in the vicinity say that this bridge was passable on foot till about the 15th century. The issue of contention is if this bridge is a naturally occurring feature or is it a man-made structure. Carbon dating showed that the structure was of about 7,000 years old, whereas thermoluminescence dating done on the sand dunes say that they are 4,000 years old. This clearly states that the rocks for the bridge were brought from a different location. This structure is man-made. The age of the structure also coincided with the believed occurrence of the Ramayana. This proved that the bridge is none other than the Ram Setu. The city of Dwarka and the Ram Setu not just proved that the places and incidents mentioned in our Puranas were true, but also proved that about 8 to 9,000 years ago, there existed advanced civilizations in India which were capable of building well-planned cities and bridges that could cross the ocean. In every corner of India, asserting their presence on time, are thousands of years old temples, caves having magnificent paintings, and numerous priceless artifacts. These are a testimony to our rich and prosperous heritage and advanced ancient culture. The Kailasa temple in the Ellora caves is such an example of extraordinary skill of our ancestors that has been etched in history forever. It is one of the largest and remarkable megaliths in the world, with a top-down approach which is both awe-inspiring and amazing. The massive elephant statues at the entrance of the temple and the impressive pillar having stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata carved on it. The wedding of Shiva and Parvati and Shiva's Tandav dance. The grandeur of these carvings from ancient India show without a doubt the expertise of the sculptors from that period. Did these sculptors really carve all these magnificent sculptures just with the chisel and hammer, or did they possess any special instruments? To carve out all this from top to bottom is extremely difficult. Even with today's technologies, such constructions would be a monumental task. Our kudos to those great artisans who created such magnificent structures, and that too centuries ago. The Konark Sun Temple built in the 13th century, a huge temple in the shape of the sun's chariot. The 7 horses leading the chariot depict the 7 days of the week. The 12 wheels of the chariot represent the 12 months in a year, and the 8 spokes in each wheel show the 8 divisions of a day, known as Prahar. The sun's rays fall on the center of a massive sundial and accurately tell us the time. This is a truly impressive example of how through beautiful architecture, the natural time cycle is so accurately and scientifically correct depicted by our ancestors. And all of this in the 13th century. The musical pillars in the Hampi temple of Karnataka, which cannot be explained even by modern day scientists. Built in the 15th century in the courtyard of the Vitthal temple in Hampi, one can play musical notes on these 56 pillars. The Mughal invaders destroyed the once prosperous town of Hampi. They tried to burn the pillars but were unsuccessful. The British cut 2 pillars to check if there was something inside it that made the sounds, but they were hollow. The mystery of these pillars is still unsolved. A similar mysterious case is of the 5 temples of the Panchamahabhuta. 3 of the 5 temples, which are a few hundred kilometers apart, are all in a straight line. Yes, they are all on the same longitude. These temples are about 3,000 years old. Did we have such advanced knowledge of cartography? Did we have the knowledge of latitudes and longitudes? Or did our ancestors use some different technology which has since been lost in time? All of this is unknown. The 57 feet tall monolithic Gomteshwar statue at Shravanbelagola. This statue weighs more than 1,000 tons. This means that the complete stone would have weighed more than 2,000 tons. The impressive thing is that the statue is made of white granite, which is not found anywhere else in this area. How did our ancestors carry a 2000-ton stone to a hilltop over 1000 years ago? And how did they erect it? A real mystery. India's glorious past is adorned with numerous such remarkable and mysterious instances. Have we really unraveled all our mysterious past? Or is there much more than what we know? Until now, we considered the ancient civilizations of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa as the most advanced of that time. However, with the discovery of the city of Dwarka, that circle of time has slid back. The brilliance in the architecture of our ancestors shows us their unparalleled intelligence, and the stories from the Puranas of the Ram Setu and the city of Dwarka show us the scientific advancement and the expertise of the advanced civilization present in ancient India. We should be proud of this prosperous and glorious history. We should not just blindly preach about their glorious past, but wonder how and why it was lost in the sands of time. Foreign invaders destroyed and stole our majesties. What was stolen was jewels and treasures, but not our resilience. What was burned were great institutes, not the intelligence. We should recognize ourselves as a part of the same intelligent civilization that built the impossible Kailash temple out of a single rock. We should be proud to claim to be the descendants of great men like Ram, who built the Ram Setu across the ocean, and Krishna, who built the great city of Dwarka. We should not forget this greatness. If this has been forgotten, then we need to rekindle the spark and remove this inferiority complex. We must hold our heads high when facing the whole world and confidently guide it to a prosperous and advanced future.
धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवा